I want to ask you, Denver fans, is this game a must-win game this week versus the New York Jets? And I think a lot of you would say yes. With the Rams coming to town, with playing now the NFC West, I believe the Broncos are playing the NFC West, luckily, this year. The way that I look at the way I look at Denver is I believe that Denver played great on Monday night. Obviously, winning on Monday night, if Case hits Demaryius Thomas, if third and if second and 26 was not converted by Mahomes, if the left-handed pass was never attempted, a lot of ifs in that game. Denver had them up 10 late in the third quarter. Freeman ran decently well. Lindsey ran very, very well. Case Keenum didn't perform really that awesome in the game. He was up and down, and especially in the last drive, he had some chances. Not a lot of momentum. Patrick Mahomes was a superstar in the second half of that game. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is ready to compete for a Super Bowl championship. He's playing at that kind of level right now. And the Chiefs got their guy. They made a bold play to go up to number 10, and it seemed like a brilliant, brilliant move. Now, you look at the Denver Broncos, and they played like crap in Baltimore. Their defense was horrendous guarding against Joe Flacco. Case Keenum only put together about 2 drives in that game. They were laughed off the field in Baltimore. That game was a lot more disappointing than the Kansas City loss. The Kansas City loss on national television, those players looked like they were playing on steroids on Denver. That's how incredible the defense played. I mean, Mahomes, Von Miller had about no time. Derek Wolfe and Adam Gotsis were over the field all day long. The Denver defenders were even playing aggressively on Tyreek Hill, and every pass was contested, even the ones to Kelsey. Mahomes had a lot of trouble. He had to go to Kelsey late because he was so uncomfortable. He was uncomfortable in ways that even all the 3 teams before him couldn't even contend to make him that uncomfortable. Mahomes, when he went to play the Chargers in week 1, the Chargers got laughed off the field when they played the Chiefs. So I think Kansas City is a Super Bowl contender. I think their quarterback is tremendous. Their head coach is really, really good. I would argue both are better than the Broncos. That's not that controversial. I think Broncos fans that Andy Reid and Mahomes are better than Joseph and Case Keenum. But you look at Joe Woods, you look at the defensive staff, and I think that this defense is elite. I do think that this defense can really, on days, can be an elite level defense. The problem is, do they mentally have the ability and the consistency under this head coach and the leadership to put together consistent, really strong defensive performances? Versus Case Keenum and the Jets, if you are able to get to Keenum, are able to get to Sam Darnold, you will get some turnovers that you need. The Broncos in this game need to get to Darnold. Stopping the run obviously would be good. The Jets are not as bad running the football. They ran it really well against the Cleveland defense in the first half a couple of weeks ago. The Jaguars just absolutely killed the Jets. But again, the Jaguars have a great, great team, and that was a road game for the young quarterback. This is a game in which Todd Bowles has always been up to the challenge. Todd Bowles has always gotten his team to a respectable end-of-year record. 5-11, 6-10. He wins these types of games, and that's how Todd Bowles is able to keep his job. Everybody in Vegas, the public is probably all over Denver because the public saw how great Denver played against the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, this game is in New York. It is a trap game. It's a literal game that I think Denver's going to lose because this is a game where I need to still see if Case Keenum can win a road game in this environment. I need to see if Vance Joseph is up to the challenge of going to New York and proving me wrong in this spot. The Baltimore game was embarrassing. Baltimore was a 5-point favorite. Denver looked okay versus Denver was able to survive versus Seattle and Oakland. Denver then got caught in a game where if they beat Kansas City, it would have been. I just think that the narrative would have been so much different. If Case hits Demaryius Thomas, we're all sitting here going, Case Keenum is clutch, Case is a winner. Instead, Case misses Thomas. We're back to Case is a mediocre quarterback. The Broncos should have taken Josh Rosen. Case Keenum's not the guy. Vance is not the guy. Chad Kelly's coming up. Fact of the matter is, Case is going to be the guy for the majority of this season. Fact of the matter is this for Denver. This game, I'm going to learn more about Denver than I've ever have. Denver, I learned in the Kansas City game, this is what I learned. I learned that Denver, at home and in the right spot, can be an elite team. I think that if you're the Rams, if you're one of the best teams in the NFL, the last place you want to go play a game is Denver. The fans in Denver are ridiculous. I'm not just saying that because you guys are all part of Rover Sports and you guys watch the content of the Denver Broncos. The Denver Bronco fan base is right up there. It's within. I'd say the Niner Empire's right here. Denver's right here. I mean, Niner fans have been the linchpin of this channel, and Denver Bronco fans have been right there. Linchpin. That's the word I was looking for. Denver Bronco fans are elite as well. The scene at Mile High was ridiculous, and it looked like a playoff game. And you had to be proud of how your Broncos played. You emptied the tank. You played tremendous effort all over the field. You just got beat by a guy just making heroic throws in the game, and you were right there with a guy who is my MVP vote, who is looking like one of the most talented quarterbacks we've ever seen, and Mahomes, who's a freak. Bottom line is Denver in the past, in the recent future would lose this game to the Jets. I'm picking the Jets. I think Denver comes out in this game. It's Vance, it's Case Keenum. I think the Jets play awesome defensively. The Jets are a very good defensive team. Todd Bowles, Jamal Adams, Darren Lee, Perry Nicholson. This is a good defensive core of linebackers. You have Tremaine Johnson, you have Maurice Claiborne, you have Adams, you have Marcus May. It is a dangerous secondary, a really good secondary that plays aggressive. The linebackers are pretty good. You can maybe run the football on them a little bit. You can definitely pass protect. You know, Garrett's going to have to play well again. You're going to have to pass protect these guys against the Jets, okay? The Jets are going to send some blitzes, but their front four isn't that great at getting to the quarterback. Baker Mayfield had all day to throw the football. I'm telling you that you can give your quarterback a lot of time. The Jets are going to play off coverage a lot versus you. They're going to give Case Keenum holes to throw the football. So can Case dial up any offense? I believe if the Broncos get to 21, they win the game. The spread is 42. I think it's going under that. It's going to be an ugly game at MetLife, but I'm just afraid the Broncos are going to lose this game. The Chiefs are better than the Jets. The Broncos, if we're talking about a team that can make a playoff run and win a game in the playoffs, it ain't the New York Jets. It ain't the coach. It ain't the quarterback. It ain't that defense. Broncos have a better defense. They have just as good of a quarterback for the time being. And their head coach, I like better. I do like Vance better than Todd Bowles. So we're going to have to see what happens this week. I'm picking the Jets. I kind of hope I'm wrong. I like Denver winning. I like Denver being a good competitive team because their defense shows that they can be a wild card team. Joe Musgrave is a really good offensive coordinator. He called the Demaryius play. He called the flea flicker. He called the brilliant 2-minute drive against the Oakland Raiders. He called some really good patterns to Emmanuel against the Seattle Seahawks. Denver, unfortunately to me, is losing 20-13 to the Jets. Let's see if I'm wrong. I'll see you guys soon. Enjoy football. Enjoy your weekend. And let's go Broncos. Let's see what y'all have to offer.